Hello students. Hello students. Now we are going to start our new chapter, that is pair of linear equations in two variables. Okay. So we already have an idea about linear equations. I think class 8th or 7th you studied about linear equation in one variable. Okay. So the examples are maybe some x equals to 3 or 2x minus 5 equals to 0 or 2y plus 3 equals to 3 minus 2y. Okay, these are the examples, and the general form of the linear equation in one variable is ax plus b equals to 0. If you remember and how to find the solutions, you already knew. Here x equals to 3 itself is a solution. For this equation 2x minus 5 equals to 0, then if I solve the x value, if I want to find x value, then x will come as 5 by 2. Minus 5 will come as right hand side and 2 will go to the denominator, so x will be 5 by 2. And if I want to solve this equation, 2y plus 3 equals to y minus 3, 3 minus 2y, then I think I'll get y value as 0. Okay, y value will be 0. Now this is the linear equation one variable. Why we are saying one variable? Because here the only x or y is the only variable. In the equation x is the variable, here also x is the variable, and in this equation y is the variable. Okay, there is only one unknown value, that we call it as variable. Next, when I go for linear equation in two variables, I think class 9th you already studied about linear equation in two variables. The examples are 2x plus 3y equals to 4, or minus 4p plus 2q minus 3 equals to 0. And the general form of the linear equation in two variable will be ax plus by equals to c. This is the general equation of a line in two variables. And you already represent how to find how many solutions exist for the linear equation in two variables. There are infinite solutions exist, and you already learned how to represent them on the graph in class 9 by taking the different values of x and y. So if I want to find the solution of this equation, what could be the solution? I think one of the solution is x equals to minus 1, y equals to 2. If I substitute x equals to minus 1 here, this will be minus 2. And if I substitute y equals to 2, 2 3 is 6. So minus 2 plus 6 will be 4. That is one of the solutions. So like that you can find infinite number of solutions by trial and error method. We take different x values, we substitute, and we get the different y values. Okay, so there are infinite solutions, and we know the linear equation in two variables will always give you a straight line to represent on the graph. Now in this standard class 10, we are going to, in class 9 you already studied linear equation in two variables, but you studied only one linear equation, right? You might have only one equation, and how to find the solution, how to represent on the graph, and what are the some word problems you might be solved. Now in this class 10, you are going to study pair of linear equation in two variables. Here also it will be two variables only, but the equations are pair. Pair means two equations. Okay, so you have two equations with two variables. Like here we have minus 2x plus 3y equals to 0, 6x minus 3y minus 9 equals to 0. These are the two equations, and both equations are in terms of x and y. So I can say it is a pair of linear equation in two variables. If you go to the next example, x plus y equals to 0, that is one equation, and the second equation is minus x plus y minus 6 equals to 0. So can I say it is a pair of linear equations in two variables? If you look at the first equation, I have x plus 1 equals to 0. So you want, in the first equation there is no y variable. Okay, so but still I can say, because here after x I can put plus 0 into y. If nothing is there, then I can put it as 0 into y. If x is missing, then I can put 0 into x. Okay. So, and in this equation, if you observe, the constant term is 0, where here the constant term is -9, here the constant term is 1, and the next equation constant term is -6, but here the constant term is 0. Now, when I go for the general form of a linear equation, two variables, my first equation I will take it as a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. So few things you have to remember when I talk about the general equation. A1 is the coefficient of x, b1 is the coefficient of y, and c1 is the constant term. A2 is the coefficient of x in the second equation, b2 is the coefficient of y in the second equation, and c2 is the constant of the second equation. Okay. Now, that is the first condition. What are the a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2? If the suffix is 1, those are the coefficients of x, y, and the constant of the first equation. If a2, b2, c2, this is the coefficients or constant of the second equation. Now, second thing you have to remember is each and every equation I use the plus sign in it. Plus a1x plus b1y plus c1 plus a2x plus b2y plus c2. Okay, so here in the general equation, each and every term is a positive term I use. That is the second condition to remember. And third one is, in the general form of equation, your C1 is the left side of the equality. After equality, you have 0 only. Here also C2 is the left side of equality, and after equals to, you have only 0. That means the constant of a equation will always be on the left side. If they are given on the right side, you have to bring it to left side if you want to compare that with the general term. So these are the few things you have to remember when you are talking about the general equation of a linear equation. It will be one variable or two variable or three variable. Even here one variable also, I have written ax plus b equals to c, and here we made a mistake. This I think of ax plus by plus c equals to 0. So here also the constant term will remain on the left side only. Here also C1, C2 are the constants which are lies on the left side. Now let's take an example. I have taken 2x plus 3y minus 9 equals to 0. That is equation number 1. Then minus 3x plus 0.5y equals to 8. That is equation number 2. Now what are the values of a1, b1, c1? a1 is the coefficient of x. So what would be the value of a1? It is 2. b1 is the coefficient. You compare this equation, a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0 will be compared with this equation. So a1 is the coefficient of x. So here the coefficient of x is 2. So a1 is 2. b1 is the coefficient of y. So here the coefficient of y is 3. So b1 value is 3. And here I have plus c1 equals to 0, and here I have minus 9 equals to 0. So c1 value has to be minus. Okay. So that's you have to be careful. That means when you are taking the coefficients or constant, you have to take along with its sign. So now can you write the a2, b2, c2 values? a2 value will be minus 3. b2 value will be 0.5. Now here c2 value, now don't write c2 value is 8. Okay, because here c2 is on the left side of equality. If you observe, c2 is the term which is on the left side of the equality, but here 8 is on the right side of the equality. So I cannot compare directly. So before you compare, you have to bring 8 to the right hand side, sorry, left hand side. So plus 8 becomes minus 8 if you bring this side. So C2 equals to minus 8. Or if you want, what you have to do, right, here it is 8 will come here, this will become minus 8, that will be equals to 0, because once 8 comes on the LHS, just they have nothing, so it will be 0. So C2 value will be minus 8. Now, you already know, if I have the linear equation in two variables in class 9, you already represented on the graph, and we discussed that both are, it is a line, straight line. Okay. Now I have the two linear equations here, because pair of linear equation means two linear equations. If I represent these two equations on the graph, on the same graph, how they look like? There are three possibilities. One is both the lines will go parallelly, so those are called the parallel lines. Okay, both the straight lines can be parallel. And the second one is both the straight lines will intersect at particular point. This is the intersection point of both the lines. Okay, so intersecting lines, so where the lines are, okay, intersecting lines, intersecting at one point, those are called the intersecting lines. And if you observe here, one line is overlapping the other line. I have one blue color line and one red color line. So here one equation lies completely on the second equation. That means both the lines will go one upon the other. Those are called the coincide lines. Lines are coincide. So one upon the other. That means first equation you represent, you get a one straight line. Now when you are trying to represent a second line, it comes exactly same as first line. So that's why one comes upon the other. So coincide lines we call it as. Now when parallel lines are there, that means both the lines will never intersect. Okay. So when both the lines are never intersect, that we call as no solution. Okay. When the lines are parallel, we call them it as no solution. Now what you say when the lines are intersecting at one point means that we call as unique solution. It is unique solution when the lines are intersecting at one point, that is called a unique solution. And when the lines are coincide, that means what you call a solution actually. Before I define this one, why we call it as a solution? Because if you take a point on that line and substitute in the equation that has to satisfy the equation, you take any point on the line, it has to satisfy that particular equation, right? Then only I call it as a solution. Or whatever the solution is there, that solution must lie on the line of that equation. Now here, whatever the point, when I come to the coincide lines, whatever the point you take on this line, that particular point will satisfy both the equations. Equation 1 and equation 2 both will be satisfied by the same point. But it won't happen with these two cases. When the lines are parallel, if you take the solution of the first line, won't satisfy the solution of second line, or vice versa. If you take the solution of second line, it won't satisfy the solution of first line. Now when it comes to the unique solution or intersecting lines, except this point where both the lines are intersecting, except that point, none of other points will satisfy the another equation. But where the lines are intersecting, that particular value or that particular point will satisfy both the equations. That's why we call it as a unique solution. And here that's why we call it as a no solution, because none of the points will satisfy both the equations. When it comes to intersecting, there is one point which satisfies both the equations. What do you say here? Every point satisfy both the equations. Every point satisfy both the equations. So how many such points do you have on a number line and a line? There are infinite points lies on a line. That's what we studied. In a linear equation, two variable class 9, there are infinite solutions for every linear equation. in two variables. So here infinite points will satisfy both the equations. So that's why when the lines are coincide lines, we have infinite solutions. Okay. So here there are three cases: one parallel line with no solutions, intersecting lines with unique solution, and coincide lines that are infinite solutions. Okay. So these are the graphical representation. We have graphical way of solving the linear equation also, that will come to the next video. These are the just introduction part which we are discussing now. Okay. Now the question arises that how do we get the pair of linear equation in two variables? What are the situations or what are the problems which we have where we get two equations in two variables? We already solved one equation word problem. How do we get the one equation with one variable? Then in class 9th you studied how we get linear equations in two variables, one linear equation in two variables. Now let's take few examples. How do we get two equations with two variables? That is my first question. Is Aftab tell his daughter, Aftab is a father and is speaking with his daughter. So here the speaker is Aftab or maybe father. We can use any word. What is he saying to his daughter? 7 years ago, means before 7 years, I was 7 times as old as you were then. Okay, you have to understand the word statements clearly. Okay, what is saying to his daughter? That father is 7 times as old as the daughter. If we stop the question there itself, I was 7 times as old as you, then I have to think the daughter's present age is 7 times, father's age 7 years ago was the 7 times of his daughter's age. But here they said, I was 7 times as old as you were then. That means 7 years ago, whatever the age of the daughter, 7 years ago, whatever the age of the daughter, 7 times of that age of the daughter will be same as the father's age. Okay, and also what else he is saying? 3 years from now means after 3 years. From now means after 3 years, the age of the father, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. Means after 3 years, whatever the age of the daughter will be there, if you multiply with 3, whatever the answer you get, that will be the age of the father after 3 years. Okay. So now let's see how to make the equation. They said represent this situation algebraically and graphically. We are not solving it, just we will make the equations, how it works. Now here three things we are talking. One is 7 years ago. Second one is 3 years from now. He is taking these two words, 7 years ago or 3 years from now, by taking the point center as present age. Okay. So that's why first I'll go, let the present age of Aftab is X years, means today he is X years old and daughter is Y years old. These are the present ages of father and daughter. Now 7 years ago, because they talked about the 7 years ago in the question, what could be the age of the father? Now present age is X years. What could be the age of the father 7 years ago? Means 7 years before. Any guess? For example, my age is 30. So 7 years ago I was 23 years old. So the after age is X years. So obviously 7 years ago his age has to be 7 years less than the present age. So it will be X minus 7. Do you agree? After age is X minus 7. So what could you say about the daughter's age? The present age of the daughter is Y. So 7 years ago, what will be the daughter's age? So Y minus 7. Okay. Let me take this as small letter. This is the age of the father, x minus 7, and age of the daughter, y minus 7 in 7 years ago. Now I come to after age after 3 years from now. 3 years from now means after 3 years. After 3 years, now what do you say? His present age is x years. Be careful, huh? When I say generally students, what mistake they do is they write present age they are taken x, daughter is present age is y. 7 years ago they write these two statements, x minus 7, y minus 7, correct. But when it comes to 3 years from now, so plus 3 I have to add, right? So what they do is x minus 7 plus 3 will be x minus 4. No. 3 years from now. That means from the present age, after 3 years, what will be their ages? So what is the present age will be? Not x minus 7. The present age is x years. Okay. So if x years is the present age, so what will be the age after 3 years? So 3 more years will increase. So can I say that will be x plus 3? Is it right? The after 3 years, after the age will be x plus 3. Now if I come to daughter's age, what will be the age of the daughter after 3 years? Present is y years. So 3 years means it will be y plus 3. Understood? Now comes to here 7 years. What father said in the first case, 7 years ago I was 7 times as old as you at that time, or were then. Means at that time, that's what he want to say. So here I written 7 years ago I was 7 times as old as you were then. So that means age of the father 7 years ago equals to 7 times means 7 into age of the daughter at that time. So can I get it? What is the age of the father 7 years ago? X minus 7 will be equals to 7 times, so I'll put bracket 7 times age of the daughter 7 years ago. What is age of the daughter 7 years ago? Y minus 7. Okay. So if I simplify this one, what do you get? X minus 7 will be equals to, if I open the bracket, this will be 7y minus 7 7 is 49. If I simplify finally, I'll reach x minus 7. Now what I do is bring all the right hand side terms to the left hand side. So plus 7y will become minus 7y, and minus 49 will become plus 49, which will be equals to 0. So then what do you get? If I simplify finally, x minus 7y, now minus 7 plus 49, I think it will come plus 42, sorry, plus 42, that will be equals to 0. I hope you understand. So because I am taking here ages after before 7 years, but in the question only they said 7 years ago I was 7 times as old as you were then. Okay, so that's why I am taking the age of the father 7 years ago equals to 7 times age of his daughter 7 years ago. Now the question they can ask you also in another way. 7 years ago, let me change the question. 7 years ago I was 7 times as old as you. Instead of were then, as 7 times as old as you now. Instead of here were then, if they put now, for example in the question if they use the word now, that means 7 years ago age of the father will be 7 times the present age of the, now means a present age of the daughter. So what could come present age of the daughter here? 7 years ago age of the father is x minus 7 will be equals to 7 times the present. Instead of 7 years ago I have to use present age of the daughter. What could be the present age of the daughter will be y. 7 times the. So you have to read the question carefully and you have to understand it carefully. Okay, now they are given were then, so I use the same question instead of saying. Now, what is the second condition they are given? 3 years from now, what father said the another way, 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. Okay, that means age of the father will be 3 times age of his daughter. So what is the age of the father from now? Age of the father is x plus 3 will be equals to 3 times age of the daughter. Age of the daughter will be y plus 3. Understood? Age of the father will be 3 times age of the son. So what do you get here? X plus 3 equals to, if I open the bracket, that would be 3y plus 3 3 is 9. Another most important step, they do the mistake, most of the students are in the hurry to finish. They write 3 into y is 3y perfectly. Then here they simply write 3. No, the bracket, the 3 is multiplying with both the numbers. See the bracket where it is closing. So it has to be 3 3 is 9. Maybe concepts mistake, or maybe it is hurry to complete, but they do this mistake. They don't multiply both the terms, they multiply any one of them. Some of the most talented students, they write only here instead of 3y, they write y plus 9. They forget to multiply y with 9, 3, but they multiply 3 with 3. Okay, so be careful, you have to multiply both the terms. Sorry, it's not equal sign, this has to be, I think, plus sign. So what do you get now? X plus 3. Now I bring all the terms to LHS. Plus 3y will become minus 3y, and plus 9 will become minus 9. So that will be equals to 0. So then what do you get? If I write the final step, x minus 3y, here plus 3 minus 9. Plus 3 minus 9 is minus 6. That will be equals to 0. So I think, let me give the equation numbers. This will be equation number 1. Okay. And this will be equation number 2. Okay. You understand the word problem? How we got this equation number 1 and 2? And what are the cases what are the cases they are given? How do we use those cases to get the linear equation 2 variable? There are 2 equations and 2 variables x and y. Now how to solve this linear equation 2 variable? We'll discuss later. Now let me take another equation, another example. The coach of a cricket team buys 3 bats and 6 balls for 3,900 rupees. The total amount she paid for 3 bats and 6 balls is 3,900. Later, after that, she buys another bat means only 1 bat, and 3 more balls of the same kind at the same cost, and the total amount she paid is 1,300. Represent these situations algebraically or graphically. So representing, we'll solve it later. Just we have to get the equations. Now here 3 bats and 6 balls together they cost 3,900. Here 1 bat, 3 balls together they cost 1,300 rupees. But here what you don't know exactly is what is the cost of 1 bat and what is the cost of 1 ball. So I have taken that the cost of 1 bat is x, cost of 1 bat is x, and the cost of 1 ball will be rupees y. Now what the condition they are given? 3 bats, 1 bat is x rupees. What about the 3 bats cost? X plus x plus x. Can I say that will be 3x? Am I right? 3x. Now what they said? 6 balls. 1 ball cost is y. What is the cost of the 6 ball? So can I say it will be 6y? Because 2 balls will be 2y, 3 balls will be 3y, 4 balls will be 4y, and 6 balls will be 6y. Now the cost of 3 balls and 3 bats and 6 balls all together will be 3900. So all means I have to sum up. 6x plus 3y will be equals to 3900. Okay. If you want, you can simplify this one further. How do you simplify is you can take 3 common from the first two terms. This will be x plus 2y. If I take 3 common from the x and y term, so you can write 3900 as 3 multiplied with 3 into 1300. So if I cancel 3 on both the sides, you left with x plus 2y. Sorry, I written equal sign. X plus 2y equals to 1300. So this will be your equation number 1. Understood? Now how do you get the equation number 2? Let me see how do you get. Now what is the another condition they are given? 1 bat, another bat. So that means only 1 bat. So bat of cost of bat is x plus and 3 more balls. 1 ball is y. 3 more balls means 3y together. So these 4 things means that's why I am adding will be equals to 1300. X plus 3y equals to 1300. So this will, now I cannot take anything common. Okay, so that's why what I do is I call it as equation number 2. Understood? How to get the linear equations 2 variables using the given question. Now if you observe this question number 2, equation number 1 and equation number 2, is it possible this situation? Now the one of the questions will be something like this. They give the equation, they'll ask you whether this situation is possible. That means the coach can buy 3 balls and 3 bats and 6 balls for 3900, and 1 ball, 1 bat and 3 balls for 1300. Can she buy this way? Is it possible? Now without solving this equation, still I can say that it is not possible. How I am saying? You look here. 1 bat plus 2 balls to get 1300. 1 bat plus 3 balls will be 1300. Your RHS 1300 and 13. If you observe equation 1 and 2, here RHS is 1300. Here also RHS is 1300. But the number of balls they buy are number of bats. Here 1 ball. Here also 1 ball. But here it is for 1 bat, 1 bat. Here it is 3 bats and here it is 2 bats. When they are buying the same company, same quantity at the same cost, how can it is possible? X plus 2y is giving me 1300. X plus 3y is also giving me 1300. This situation cannot buy. But here they did not ask to solve it, but they asked just frame the equation and get the algebraic equation. So we got the algebraic equation. Now here the homework here. Question number 3 and 4. You have to frame the equation, no need to solve them. 2 kgs of apple and 1 kg of grapes on a day was found 160 rupees. After a month, the cost of 4 grapes and 4 kgs of apple and 2 kgs of grapes is 300. Just you have to frame the equation. Now here what hint I will give you. Let 1 kg of apple cost is x and 1 kg of grapes will be y. Don't take 1 apple cost is x, because in 1 kg how many apples you will get you don't know. And similarly don't take 1 grape cost is y. Okay, because 1 kg grapes means how many grapes you get we don't know. Better you go 1 kg apple cost is x and 1 kg grapes cost is y. Okay. So then you can frame the equation. Then 5 years hence. So when they use the word 5 years hence, that means from now onwards after 5 years. Okay, that's what you have to string. The age of Jacob will be 3 times of his son. So here also you have to make present age after 5 years and 5 years ago. So as we did in the first column here, first question, here you take the present age, here you take 5 years ago, and here you take 5 years from now. Okay, so make the equation. Question number 3 and 4 is just you have to make the equation. Then question number 5, 6, 7, 8, you have to find the values of A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2 for each equation. So wherever the x term or y term is missing, you write it as 0 into x or 0 into y. For example, in this equation, y term is not there. You have 2x plus 9 equals to 0. So you write it as 2x plus 0 into y. You can write plus 0 into y or minus 0 into y. You can write any one of them, because when you write 0, the sign of the 0 will be neither positive nor negative. Okay, it's neutral. And make sure when you're comparing this, like in this equation 4 is on the right side, first bring this 4 to the left side of the equality. So you have to write this as minus 5x plus 9y plus 4 equals to 0. After converting into the standard form, then only you get the value of A1, B1, C1 or A2, B2, C2 exactly. Without converting into the standard form, if you solve it, you won't get the values correctly. Okay, here also minus 5 on the right side of the equality, you convert this into left side of the equality, and y term is missing, you have to put it as 0 into y. So for all those questions, you have to remember this general form. Okay, a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. Now please do understand how to get the values of a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2. If these examples are not sufficient, you may take few more examples and learn thoroughly, properly how to get values of the coefficients exactly, because our next topic is based on how perfectly you can find A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Okay, so thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.